did everything myself in here. That is not how you do the business. And that right there is a house that I have already flipped as well. And I already know that I can flip this house to a buyer on my buyers list because I got a strong buyers list in this area. Hey guys, today it is System Saturday. I will be your host, John Cochran. And what we do on these System Saturdays is I literally give you a system that I use in my own real estate business that you can rip off, duplicate, and do whatever you want with it. So I have my mother, who is also my business partner, here with me. And on today's System Saturday session, we are going to show you how to actually get your hand on the checks. It's the most important thing whenever you are buying and selling a house is getting your actual hand on a profit check. And what I want to talk about is not only getting your hand on that profit check, but I also want to talk about how you go through and you recover from a deal that could possibly go south. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do. So here's 3 deals right here that we have in front of me. And I just want to explain to you how I'm going to get my hands on all 3 of these checks. And then how I've recovered from all 3 of these deals, okay? Because all 3 of these deals could have went south, could they have not?
Absolutely, 2.
They could have went south. They all 3 could have.
Yeah.
They all 3 could have went south. But I'm going to tell you what we did to get our hands on that check, and then how we have been able to recover on these deals. Now, this right here is the first property. This property right here is on 16 West Sunrise. Okay, so this one's on 16 West Sunrise. It's very, very interesting the way that this property ended up turning out, okay? This is a property, it's a wholesale deal. These were all HUD homes that I bought. This was a HUD home that we bought on 16 West Sunrise in Trotwood, Ohio. And the funny thing is that we bought it for in the high, teens. We bought it in the high teens. I don't know the number right off the top of my head. I think it's around 19 grand.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
That we did. Not a huge profit. Not a huge profit on this. And we knew this going right up front on this. Now, we went through and we got in, we put it up on the market for $24,900. So our goal is to make $5 grand on this home and just turn it quick. Now, the thing is that we knew that we were going to get a cash offer on this home, which we did. Okay, which we definitely did. Now, the thing is that we ended up getting, I don't know if you can see it, but we ended up getting a cash offer for $22,500. Okay, $22,500 we got on this. We got 2 of them. Okay, and what was the other contract that we got? Was it $22,500?
Yeah, it was about $22,000. Yeah, about the same offer.
$22,000. So what happened is that we got 2 offers. We put it up on the market for $24,900. We went through and we got one offer for $22,500, which is right here. Then we got another offer at the same amount, at the same time, for the same amount. Okay? Now what we did was we put them into a multiple offer situation because what my goal was to take them from the $22,500 and get them into a multiple offer, get them into a bidding war, and get $24,900 or over asking price for this property. Did that happen?
No.
So we put the people into a multiple offer, and we did not actually. They actually stayed. Both of them stayed exactly where they were going to. It doesn't happen very often that they're going to stay. Most of the time, when somebody writes an offer on it, they're going to hit you up low, and then they'll go up to their real number. Now they stayed. Both of them stayed on this. So what we did is that we rejected both offers. We just did not accept both offers because one, we were going to lose $1,500 on the deal. I think it was $1,400 that we were going to lose on it. I said, absolutely not. We are not going to lose any type of money on the deal because I know that we can actually get it. Okay, so we rejected the offers, and the next day, the realtor that said this person is just not going to go up anymore, what'd they do? They called you?
He called me and he says, well, my investor reconsidered. He's a great guy, blah, blah, blah. He says, we'll go ahead and give you the 20. Because I told him from the get-go, I said, we're not in the business to lose money. I said, we can't lose money. So he says, we'll give you the $24,900. I said, cool.
So what we did in this scenario was we played hardball with them. We absolutely played hardball with them because they were playing hardball with us. We got them to bend. Now that doesn't happen very often, to be honest with you, but this was a win-win person. Okay, this was a win-win person, so that is good. So 2 offers on it. We rejected both of them. The next day, They called her and they said, you know what, we're gonna go up to the 24.9, so we actually recovered that by playing hardball with those people, okay? Sometimes you just have to put your foot down. You have to put your foot down and you just have to tell the people exactly what you're gonna do and just put your foot down and stand hard with that, okay? Just stand hard with that. Even if we were going to be making, you know, money on that 22 grand or whatever, and we were gonna say make 1,500 bucks or $2,000, we still would have done the same exact thing. We would have done the same exact thing, played hardball with them, literally just went through and not taken any of those deals, and then we would have just waited for another offer to come in, or the same thing would have happened where they would have offered more for the property. So we recovered that deal, turned that into a profit. I think that we're gonna end up making a little bit over 3 grand, 3,500 bucks-ish on this deal, and that's why we did that deal. We knew that going right into it. Here's another deal right here on 402 West Her Street in Englewood, Ohio. Now, the thing about Englewood, Ohio is that every property that I have flipped in Englewood, Ohio, I have not done good on, okay? It is an extremely hard area to flip homes in. A lot of really great houses in there, but for some reason, it's just a really hard place to flip homes in. And I knew this going into it as well. I definitely knew this going into it as well. So this particular contract right here, do you want to talk about this one a little bit? You know, on 402 West Her?
We have it on the market for $69,900, and they offered. I think,
what did we buy it for? We bought it for. We have about $58,000 in this property. So we've got $58,000 in this property. We put it right back up onto the market for $69,900. Now here's what happened. We got a lot of offers. On this property. We got a lot of offers on this property,
24 showings.
We had 24 showings
on this one.
So 24 showings on this, and we ended up, one of the strongest contracts we got on it was for $64,000, okay? Now, how in the world, out of, you know, if we have, you know, below 60 in it, how in the world are we gonna turn that into money, okay? And this is somebody that's playing hardball on us. And I knew this right from the get-go because when they went through and contacted us to buy this from our list, they said, why is this home so cheap? Why is this home so cheap? Really? So why is this home so cheap at the $69,900? However, they offered me $64,000. I know that they're gonna go up. It just makes sense that they're gonna go up on it. So here's how the contract reads. So you've got the contract for $64,000. They cross that out and they're actually paying $71,900 for it, but they do want $4,000 in closing. Now they don't need $4,000 in closing. They do not need $4,000 in closing. So how did you handle this situation to where when they offered $64,000, how did you get them to go up to the $71,900, and how did you handle that $4,000 in closing that they don't need?
Well, actually, I played hardball on that one as well, just because I did know that she knew that the house was too cheap. So I figured I could get her up to full price, so I kept negotiating and I kept going back up to full price and paying her $4,000 at closing. So then she came back, then I went to and cut her closing cost to $2,500 and, you know, made the purchase price just a little bit less. So she insisted she wants these $4,000 in closing. So what I did was I wrote in the contract, because now loan officers are not allowed to keep the extra money left over from a loan. If they don't use up all the closing cost.
If somebody asked for $4,000 in closing costs and they only really need $3,000, loan offers used to be able to pocket that $1,000. They can't do that anymore. They can't do that anymore, which technically all that money goes to the buyer now. Well, we put it right into the contract, which is what she was saying, was that overage actually goes to the seller. So we're able to put more money into our pocket from that one reason, okay? So that's really what we did on this, is that we just had to play hardball with her. She came in at $64,000. We knew that she would go up, so we needed our number out of it. So we went over asking price so that we could still get our number on this, which you can definitely do. We do it on just about every finance deal that we do.
And also, I think her pre-approval letter said what she was pre-approved for.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, also a clue.
And that's another thing too as well. And I cannot show you this document, obviously, because, you know, we just cannot show you what people are approved for and whatnot. But This document right here, it is the approval letter that we received with this contract, and obviously with this approval letter, it does tell us the loan amount that they're approved for. It even tells us the interest rate. It tells us what type of loan they're getting, the terms and everything on this. So I know this is an FHA loan, and I also do know that this property is going to have some plumbing.
Yeah.
It's going to have some plumbing that needs to be done to it because I didn't touch this home. So it does have some plumbing that needs to be done to it. So, you know, and they're getting FHA financing. So I've already put into my head basically that there's going to be about $300 to $400 worth of plumbing that goes into this home because it is going to use FHA financing. So, so that is that deal. Anything else you'd like to tell everybody about this particular deal on her?
Well, one of the things that what we don't do is like on this deal on her, we know it has plumbing issues. And we weren't about to fix those plumbing issues because we want to see if their inspector and if their appraiser catches it and ask us for them. Because if they don't, then we're not gonna fix it. You know, I mean, it's because it's just a leak. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's not like it's going to affect her financing.
It's not a leak, it is a drip.
Yes.
Okay, it is literally a drip from the main line. It's not that big of a deal, but what happens is that we're not saying anything about it. We're fully aware of it, you know, because the buyer told us about it. The buyer's aware of it. But what we are going to do is we've got it into our head, into our budget, that yes, we are probably going to have to fix this. However, you know, if it does come down to it to where, you know, the appraiser walks through the home and they don't see it, well, we're not going to pay for it.
And it's not. It may not be a big deal to the buyer.
It's not a big deal to the buyer.
It's not. I mean, so that's why we don't go ahead and fix them ahead of time because, and especially like this next deal that we did, there was other things that were wrong and the buyer just like, we don't care. It's okay.
Yeah. So that was the deal on that one. That's how we saved that one, by literally just going through and upping the purchase price on it, you know, giving them a little bit to get a lot of it. Okay, that's really what it is. We're giving them their closing costs so that we can actually get a lot more, get our profit on this deal. I want to also show you this contract that we have on, this one on Commonwealth that we have that is under contract. This particular home we also had, I don't know how many showings on this one, but we had a lot.
A ton.
A lot of activity off the marketing that we use from the 7 days and sold system that I have. Now this particular deal, we bought and we did a prehab on this deal. We ended up having about $65,000 in this house when it was all said and done. We put about 10 grand into it, somewhere around there. So we had $65,000 in when it was all said and done. Here's the contract on it. We actually went through and same exact scenario. We asked $79,900 for the home. Same exact scenario. They needed $3,500 in closing costs. So you can see they needed $3,500 in closing costs right there. They offered $79,900, $3,500 in closing costs. We countered them and we said that we will put the closing costs right on top of the actual purchase price. So there you go. That's what we do on a lot of deals. You know, a lot of deals, you know, that we sell is that we'll just, if they do need closing costs, if they are getting financed, we will just put the closing costs right on top of the actual purchase price. So this thing's under contract and whatnot. We went through, you know, inspections and whatnot. The home got inspected, and then what happened is they basically come back with a post-inspection agreement. Now I want to talk about this post-inspection agreement because I think that they misnamed this agreement. I don't think that it should be called a post-inspection agreement. I think that they should be calling it a wish list please. That's what they should be calling these whole things. Now understand that these post-inspection agreements, they are nothing but wish list. Okay, and I kind of want to tell you on today's System Saturday how we handle these post-inspections to really not lose any type of deals out of this. Okay, so we ended up getting our number out of the deal, great. But then we get to the post-inspections. So we get to the post-inspections, and this is where kind of you can lose a deal or get a deal. Okay, this is where this is done at. Now, on this, why don't you talk about this on how everything that they wanted. Now, this is a home that we prehab, pretty nice. Wasn't gorgeous by any means, but it did need some stuff. But there were some things that they asked for in the actual post-inspection. Okay, and inside this post-inspection, correct me if I'm wrong because she worked this deal for us, but they wanted us to replace the dishwasher. Okay, they wanted us to replace the dishwasher. Was there anything wrong with the dishwasher?
I don't think the dishwasher works. I didn't even put the dishwasher in the listing.
Okay, so the dishwasher wasn't even in the listing. So
No.
really,
But they saw it.
But they saw it. Okay, so they wanted us to put a new dishwasher in for them. Also, they wanted us to provide a pigtail for the range, meaning that the cord from the range, they wanted us to put that in for the wall. They also, that would cost less than $30.
Yeah.
A dishwasher could cost anywhere from $200 on up, to be honest with you. And then they wanted us to start the water heater to make sure that it is functional. They wanted us to do the electric box serviced and outlets and light in the basement repaired per the report. What does that mean? Can you kind of explain that a little bit more?
There's a 200 amp box and 100 amp wiring, so we need to change that out.
Okay, so there's a 200 amp box down in the basement, but it only has 100 amp wire coming in. The big wire from the telephone pole is a 100 amp wire, so obviously that wire needs to be replaced to make it bigger, to handle the support of a 200 amp. That's really how that works. So they wanted that done, and then they also wanted the furnace and the thermostat to work properly. It was a brand new thermostat on there. The furnace wasn't brand new, it wasn't old, but it was a brand new thermostat on there. That what happened was that the inspector went through there and didn't know how to use it.
He didn't know how to start it.
He didn't know how to go through and turn the thermostat on, so they went and they flagged that in the post-inspection. Then they also want us to extend the drain pipe on the clothes washer drain. That's what they wanted us to all do. So there was a total of 5 things that they wanted us to do. Now, you could be looking at that and you could just see dollars going out of your bank account. You really could. You could just literally just see dollars just leaving your profit. Okay? What we do in every single post-inspection wish list that the people give us is that we will fix everything that affects habitability. That dishwasher, that was a wish list. That does not affect habitability. The providing the pigtail for the range, that does not affect habitability. However, it's cheap, so I'm going to give them a little bit to make them happy. I'm going to show them that I am bending, but I'm not going to bend much. Okay, that does not affect habitability, but I'm going to do it because it's cheap. They want to start the water heater and make sure that's functional. Obviously, that needs to be done, so we did that. The electrical box serviced and the outlets for that wire that needs to come in. We are going to go through and do that, and the reason we're going to do that is for the simple fact that that does affect habitability. So we are going to make sure that that is proper for our end buyer. So anything that affects habitability, we will do. Furnace and the thermostat to work properly, it already works, it's all checked out. The guys just didn't know how to use it. We are not going to go through and do anything on that. And they extend the drain pipe on the clothes washer and dryer, again, another just wish list that they had. So we're not going to do any of that stuff. We're actually going to do, the only thing that we're going to do out of that is we're going to do the pigtail for the range, and then we're also going to do the electric box, which, what is that going to cost us in general? It's going to cost us $30, and then the electric is going to cost us how much?
$720, I think.
$720. So we're going to be in it, literally, for about $800, somewhere around there-ish, and then we still save that deal. So what I was showing this buyer was that I am willing to work with you, but I'm not willing to literally grant you all of your wishes. I'm not willing to go through and do any of that stuff, okay? So anytime that we deal with any type of post-inspections, we are literally just going through and fixing anything that would affect habitability. We are not giving them any type of cash or anything like that that they would want. And I really learned that on a property from a home that I did flip in Inglewood many years ago, was that, these people came at me with a wish list. I was kind of newer into the business, and they came to me with a wish list, and I did everything on there. I gave them cash. I did everything that I needed to do, and I gave them money for, fixing the siding. I gave them money for this, money for that. Ended up hitting me up for about $10,000. I did every single bit of it. and you still drive by that house today and they still haven't done it. It is simply a wish list. It is just a request that they like to make that they will never do. So always in the post inspections, do the stuff that does affect habitability. But I also want to keep in mind, I'm going to end this with that you always have to bend a little bit to get, okay? You cannot go through here and just say, nope, you guys are not getting any of that stuff. You pissed me off in this contract. You just pissed me off. No, I'm not giving you any of that stuff. Guys, bend a little bit so that you can get your hand on that check. That's the whole goal for every bit of this stuff, is to go through and save your deals so that you can get your hand on that check. And that's the only thing that matters. So just bend a little bit to get a lot of it, okay? So is there anything else that you'd like to say, anything about these 3 deals? Would you like to tell anybody anything on System Saturday?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, if you don't bend a little bit, they'll walk. Most of the time, they will just walk.
And why is that?
Their stubbornness is just pure stubbornness.
Because they think that they're not getting a deal.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to take. People are takers. They're not givers, okay? The people that give are actually the wealthy ones. Those are the smart people, okay? And that's why I have been able to build a massive business, is because I give, okay? And that's the whole thing, is that a lot of people, they're not givers, they're takers. And they want to take as much as they possibly can from you, so you have to give them a little bit, soothe them, rock them to sleep a little bit, cuddle, give them a nice little massage, whatever you have to do to make them feel comfortable. Say, yeah, they are bending, I am going to go through and do this. So that's the best advice that you can really get, is to go through and give to get. And I want to end this by looking at this quote that I have right up here on the wall. Our quote, we have quotes all over our walls here at the office. Guys, make good choices whenever you're you're responding to contracts. Make good choices, because your choices are going to end up making you. That's the whole truth of it. You got to make good choices, because your choices are going to end up making you. Think about that. Live by it, because it is absolutely true. If you guys need anything, always know that I'm here. And guys, I hope you enjoyed these System Saturdays. Comment on this video below. Let me know about some deals that you've currently been involved with. Do you guys bend on these deals? Do you guys do exactly what I'm showing in this? How do you guys do it differently? I'm always here for you. Me and my mom signing out. Comment below. See you guys.